This is Norman Skinner.
Rick Stallcamp.
This is Mark Miner.
Gary Tarpley.
Noe Luna.
And we are
Niviane.
And you're listening to
Honest Brutality.
I love it.
Created by the people. Created for the people. No holds barred. No punches pulled. Just honest brutality.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are thinking. You don't ever talk about my band again. What's this honest brutality shit anyway?
Honest Brutality.
Hey everybody, welcome to Honest Brutality. This is Big Sloppy with Evil and the Butcher.
What's up?
Yo! Tonight, all the way from Sacramento, California, Niviane! All right. Hey guys, take a second and introduce yourselves.
All right, this is Noe Luna. I'm the drummer.
Gary Tarpley, guitar player.
This is Mark, guitar.
Rick, bass.
Norman Skinner, vocals.
All right, fellas, we're getting fired up for the Redwood MetalFest coming up in Ukiah here real soon, and you guys are on the docket on the metal stage, which is cool this year because he's got a metal stage and a punk stage. That ought to be fun. But you guys are set to shred the metal stage, and we want to get to know you guys a little bit. Tell us a little bit something about you guys.
Well, you guys want shred. We're definitely full of shreds. So, this band started a couple years ago?
Yeah.
A little over 2 years ago. Yeah. So it really started with Mark and Rick. They were the two, founding members. The rest of us are just still rookies. We're still getting hazed.
We're
and
bastards.
Yeah.
You metal bastards.
Right. Yeah, but it's been good. You know, we play, for those that haven't heard us, we play what we call like heavy American power metal. So as you know, in the Northern California scene, there's not too many bands that play that. So we're always sort of the odd man out at the shows, but everyone loves it. You know, it's a little something different. So
that sets you apart, makes you unique. I gotta like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's cool when so Brian he brought us out to Ukiah once before, and everyone was like, "What is this?" You know,
right?
And he liked it, so he's like, "Hey, I want to get you guys on the Metal Fest." We're like, "Yeah, we're down."
Yeah.
Well, it's cool, too, because what he's doing out there is a pretty phenomenal feat to try to pull off in that area. It's kind of a black hole for venues. So for him to pull everybody in there and do this.
Right. I mean, he's trying to actually build something out there, which is very admirable, you know? So I respect what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring some accent. We talked to the fans out there, and sorry, our guitar player's a wheedling in the background.
It's okay. I've been to plenty of rehearsals. I know what's going on.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, we talked to them, and they're always just very excited to get any kind of metal out there. And, you know, we talked to Brian, and some bands are like, "Oh, I want this X amount of money and this, and all these demands." And, you know, to us, it's a different area that we're not used to playing. So we're just happy to go and just, you know, rock it, you know?
Yeah, like the bands that you're talking about that are looking for a certain amount of money. I mean, that's not unreasonable, I guess, to be, you know, wanting to be compensated for playing. But at the same time, I think it's a great thing to get the exposure and to contribute to the culture of the area.
Yeah, you have to kind of balance it out. I mean, if it's, you know, if you're going a couple states over, then, you know, it's understandable. But if you're just going a few hours,
Two questions: when and where?
Yeah, that's
right.
That's Gary's philosophy for any show: when and where.
That tells me you guys are in this for the right. You guys are in it because you love to fucking rock, right?
Oh yeah, and this band has no delusions of grandeur when it comes to like, oh, we're gonna be the next freaking
Yeah, we do.
Metallica.
Every band has that phase at one point.
So yeah, I think you know, we're just in it for the music and see how far it'll take us. Except Rick, he just wants to get laid. So
I've seen Rick. I hope he's a hell of a bass player.
Nobody cares about the bass player.
We do, Rick.
Yeah, we understand. You're quote essential to the band. We get it, buddy.
Right.
Hey, man, that's offensive. Bass players are essential.
That's what I've been told. As a singer, I get it. Sure. Anyway, hey, Checking out your guys' influence. I checked out your EPK, by the way. Awesome EPK.
Yeah, very well done.
And I guess No is the mystery man, because there ain't shit on that motherfucker.
Yeah, so what's funny is I've gotten 3 different messages on our website saying, "Where's your drummer's bio?" So I think he's trying to take Rick's crown because Rick was usually the man of mystery. So
he's so mysterious, man.
So let's get to know now.
But see, now that you brought it up, I bet you watch it's going to be up there in like 2 days.
I know, right?
Rehearsal and I go home and I'm gonna start writing my shit.
Yeah, because we're gonna blast this to the world, and they're gonna want to know who you are, brother.
Right. So now you have to tell them a little bit about yourself because they don't know anything.
Well, I guess.
they did their homework on us.
I don't remember what I was going to write about, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to write your own bio, you know?
Oh, it is.
It's like, I don't know what the fuck to write.
I like tacos and burritos.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. That was harsh.
Noah is the token Hispanic in the band.
Oh my God, that's fantastic!
That's great, man.
I love it. So
I didn't know that when I introduced ourselves earlier. So
that's why I said the call's for you, Noah.
Hey, and no, if it makes you feel better, you can call me El Big Sloppy. Does that make it better?
Oh.
Poppy Big Sloppy. Poppy Big Sloppy.
Fuck. Hey, so anyway, I was going through your guys' EPK, and I was looking at the influences, and I was like, you guys' influences are dead nuts to what I grew up with Randy Rhoads, Yngwie.
Right there, that's all the guitar players are. That's Mr. Mark.
Yeah, dude. Rand is well known on our show. Randy Rhoads was a god to me, man. And to see you guys listening on your bios here rings my bell, dude. I love that shit. And to hear you mention him as an influence goes a long way with me, man.
Absolutely. Good taste, brother.
Yeah, well, come on, bro. Kidding me? That's why I got a show.
Exactly. I mean, to me, there's always sort of like what I always call the holy trinity of rock and metal guitar. And it all started with Eddie Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, and Yngwie Malmsteen. And you know what? If you really think about it, the rest of us are just trying to keep up. I mean, those 3 guys did it all. There's a slew of great guitar players. We could be here for days talking about it. But those were the 3 guys that inspired me, especially Randy. So, yeah, I mean, all that stuff is timeless. It's classic. There's a million great guitar players out there. But every once in a while, you get this sort of shooting star. And in my opinion, those are the 3 guys that made everyone go, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, it made him go, holy shit.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, it was Randy at a real young age, and I didn't even start playing until my late teens. And then after that, I really got into Malmsteen, and then I kind of went almost backwards. I was a little bonehead metal kid listening to Van Halen, but I didn't really get the guitar part because Eddie really had the perfect marriage of every guitar player wanted to be like him. And every chick in the crowd, wanted to fuck the singer. and they had great songs with like this kind of like silly pop sensibility, but they just killed every time, every show. And, they had that whole thing of the songs came first and Eddie knew it and he got his licks in and obviously he's done well for himself. And, Randy kind of picked it up from there with the whole classical influence. And then, of course, Yngwie with the whole neoclassicalisms. And then that was just a whole other game changer right there. And then you've got all these guys, I mean, I love Vi and Satriani. I mean, like I said, there's a million great guitar players, but there's only a handful that come along that, really are game changers. And to me, that was the 3. I mean, in our rehearsal studio right now, I'm looking at a picture of Yngwie. On the other side of the wall is a picture of Rhoads. I mean,
Don't mention Vinnie Vincent over there.
Yeah, we're not going to mention that's Rick's thing.
Oh my God,
that's great.
But you know what it is I've always really just been a fan of guitar. I'm a total guitar nerd. I'm a total gear nerd. And I'll talk to anybody anytime about guitar players and gear and all that. I mean, I'm a fan of music as well as somebody who plays music. And I think that that's important. And you always go back to the guys that made you want to get better. And there's so many great guitar players out there. I mean, you've got 12-year-old kids in Singapore now.
Oh, dude, yeah, there's 12-year-old kids that make you want to put the instrument down.
Right.
My
argument to that is where is the next Eddie or the next Randy? I mean, it's cool that you could be 12 and live in some third world country and be able to nail Eruption. Well, then again, guys like us, we didn't have the internet, much less, 5,000 how-to videos on YouTube. We had to figure it out ourselves. And that, and I teach guitar lessons for a living, so I see a lot of it. And I see a lot of the kids who want self-gratification. And I'm also fortunate where I get a lot of kids who, they get it. They got to put in their time. And my influences definitely put in their time. So I try to follow that as
awesome.
well.
That's sweet, man. Dig it. Hey, Gary, I see you there fucking around in your guitar, dog. Listen, you list Rick Emmett as an influence. And I don't know if I've ever seen him listed anywhere before. I think he's one of the most underrated guitar players on the planet.
My favorite bands growing up.
Dude, they're epic and they're overlooked so much these days. It's incredible to me.
Yeah, I was huge on classic rock, but then I heard Iron Maiden, and I said fuck everything else.
Let's talk about Niviane a little bit. You guys are playing your asses off all summer. I looked at your lineup of concerts coming up throughout the summer and what you played so far, and my God, you guys don't take a break, do you?
Nope.
Yeah, the good thing is that so we don't even book our own shows. We've been, I guess, call it blessed or whatever, enough to where we just, after other bands see us play and they get to hang out with us and actually meet us and see that we're just down to earth cool guys, they're like, hey, play a show with us. So basically we just accept or reject shows based on our schedule, and we try to play as much as we can. Because why not, right? We're not getting rich, so we might as well have some fun.
Dude, why be in a band if you're not playing live? Holy shit.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
It is.
And one of the venues you guys have played, looks like a couple times and maybe more coming up, is Toots down in Crockett. Now,
yeah,
I've been to Crockett. What the fuck is in Crockett that's drawing all the bands to Crockett?
When we're done at Toots, there's going to be nothing in Crockett.
Oh.
So they've had to rebuild the city a couple times.
We got a winner.
Oh, shit. I love it.
So basically, the promoter's name is Dwayne Mullen. He goes by Liquid Dueno Productions.
I love it.
Yeah, he's doing the same thing that Brian's trying to do up in Ukiah, except, Crockett, it's right across the bridge from Vallejo. So you go through Vallejo and you're like, where was Crockett? I missed it. It's one exit is all it has. And he brings bands out there, and he's got this kind of cult following at the venue where they know that he's putting together good shows. And we're going to be back there on the 29th of this month again, ready to throw down. So
badass.
That might have been like our third or fourth show. And this will be, we haven't played down there in about 6 months or so. And I got to say, for a small club in a town that nobody really is familiar with, every time we've gone in there, they're putting money into their stage. They're putting money into their, their sound. And there's something to be said about, a smaller club that actually puts money back into their venue.
Absolutely.
They've always treated us well.
They pay us.
They pay us.
They give us food.
Oh.
They give us food. And it's kind of one of those intimate settings where it's one thing to play the big stages with the big lights and the big production, because we do that too. But there's also something about you're a little bit closer to the floor, and you've got people like 2 feet from your face, and there's a real raw energy, and we feed off of that stuff. So it's kind of cool to have the balance between venues like that to go to. And it's one of those places where you kind of walk in and go, okay, this is kind of cool, but there's just always a great vibe there. It's like the crowd, like Norm was saying, it's just right as you get into the Bay Area. So from a lot of places here in Northern California, you can be there in an hour and a half. If you live in, say, San Francisco, it's an hour?
It's maybe not even that. It's maybe 30 minutes. Yeah.
So
it's close.
Demographically, I mean, it's great because it's kind of this hub. It's out of the city, but it's not like right in the thick of everything. And I think a lot of people who like going to shows sort of like that. And there's so many places. The Bay Area has always been really good to us. That's kind of our bread and butter, really.
Right.
And that's always a fun place to go. The only thing we're really bummed about is when they closed off that lounge in the back. Yeah, there's some stories.
The smoking lounge?
Yeah, there's some stories that went on in that room. But
was that called the Champagne Room?
I think it's called like Satan's Lounge or something. and I think that's appropriately titled, but that's a whole other interview.
Yeah. When Rick's there, it's called Clean Up on Aisle 9.
Oh, God. Wow. Damn.
Rick's just taking the punches. You guys are doing a lot of crazy shit, playing all over the place, and your music is definitely stand out for what you do. I don't know if you could necessarily put it under an umbrella for a genre, and I wanted to talk to you for just a second about that. During the writing process, what are you guys doing there? Are you just kind of coming in and organically letting this shit grow, or is it like you really put the thought process down? One person do most of the writing? How does it work?
No, so basically, these three gentlemen here are the core songwriters, and each of them will bring a song to the table. Most of the time, it's a full visualized concept, the whole song from beginning to end, and then they start hashing it out. They give it to me. I rip it apart and give it back to them and go, this works better for singing. And then that's when, as we're jamming it out, I think more of the organic comes in, because we just kind of jam it out and we're like, Rick will be like, this part doesn't flow, or Gary's like, this sounds better. But, I don't know how they.
I don't have much of a life at home, so I just sit and. So what I do is I write a song and I kind of look at it like bringing it in a wheelbarrow and dumping it on the floor.
That's a good. I like that. It's a good analogy.
So it's no longer my song. It's the band's song. We all collectively listen to it. We take it, we move it around, and at the end of the day, you got 5 guys shaking their head going, that sounds fucking rad.
So, Norman, are you the one that kind of comes in with all of the different lyrics?
Yeah, I'm the sole lyricist in the band, and pretty much it's been that way. I way back in like the 90s, I was in a band, and I would share lyric duty, but I found that I couldn't really get as much emotion into the song and the feeling and the attack if I didn't really understand or believe what I was singing the words. And lucky enough for me, the guys dig what I write. In this band, I'd say a majority of the lyrics are all either based on history or mythology, just anything. It's kind of epic and driving and just,
So is that something that you're like really into? Is that type of vibe?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, my favorite. So, and you guys are musicians and singers, so you'll know exactly what I mean when I say this, and I'm sure the band does too. What you listen to isn't always what you play.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but lucky enough for this band, I know these guys got together and they were like, we want to do a power metal band, right? And that was long before we ever joined. And my favorite genre is heavy power metal, and it's exactly what we play. So it's been just awesome. Just fell in my lap, and I was like, oh, thank you.
Nice. So
you guys hear the story of how Norm Skinner joined the band?
Feed me, Seymour.
Come on now.
I mean, it's not very exciting, but it's so fucking rock star. It's awesome. So when the band started about a couple of years ago, an original singer did not work out, and one of the other original members had contacted a guy that we were interested in, who was kind of busy but friends with Norm, and said, well, I can't really do it, but you ought to hit up my buddy Norm Skinner. I had never heard of Norm. The other guy did. So I said, okay, cool. So I get this phone call 3 days later. Hey, I sent Norm a couple of our demos, and he already sent them back with lyrics, melodies, backing vocals, and everything. And I go, wait a minute, that was just like a couple of days ago we sent it. And he goes, yeah. So he sent it to me, and I'm just going, okay, you got my attention. And it was like, okay, well, let's see what he can do with this song. He did the same thing. I think that one was maybe a day. So we said, all right, we got to get this guy out. So how I met Norm Skinner, I literally am standing in the room exactly where it happened. Norm is basically standing where it happened. Our door is, you can't see it, but the door opens up and Norm sticks out his right hand, shakes my hand, says, hey, I'm Norm. And then in his left hand, he hands me a bunch of money and goes, here's my share of the studio rent. And I just went, okay. And he just walked right fucking past me and starts messing with the PA. And I'm like, yeah.
Typical
That's
vocalist.
what we need in this band. And it's, history ever since. And, Noe got into the band not too much longer after that. Gary joined the band about the same time. And it was literally like the missing pieces of a puzzle. Rick and I sort of started building the foundation And it didn't really come to what we would consider now a cohesive unit until the five of us that you're talking to right now. And between the songwriting and everybody putting in, their 2 cents worth, everybody promotes, everybody's where they need to be, when they need to be there. And, it's really hard to find that. I mean, I've always said the music is honestly, after you've been doing this a long time, you guys know this, the music is the easy part. It's how cohesive is the band. Do you have one guy in the band who can't show up? Do you got one guy who's a sweetheart and the other 2 guys are complete assholes? We've never had that issue with this band, and we didn't have that until the 5 of us got into the room. And what little squabbles we have are very minute compared to a lot of other horror stories that we've all experienced. So it's nice. We all walk into a room, we all smile, we all hug, we play music, we go out and we tear it up, and then, repeat. And that's what we've done for the better part of about a year and a half now. And with everything that's been going on, it's just like, I wouldn't want to live in close quarters with anybody else. And that's a big part of it too, because you got to tell yourself, okay, this guy's kind of a dick. I do not, I do not want to be in a hotel room and in a tour bus with this 6 weeks.
Right.
And everybody in this band, we hang out, we go to dinner, and, a couple of us have kids that play together, and it's cool, man. It's how it should be. And for me, I never had that until this. So it's all good.
Cool.
That is awesome.
Sounds like it's worth the wait. Well, listen, you guys.
We got to pass the tissue around.
At the beginning of that story where, Axel walks into the room, he just gives me money and says, "Here's my money, fucker. Where's my mic?"
That's exactly how a vocalist should be.
That's right. Hey, listen, so you guys have recorded an album, and I believe you're set to drop it this fall. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, we signed our record. So we actually got 2 record deal offers, which was awesome. So we got to pick which one we wanted. We signed it this couple days ago, Wednesday. Yeah, the signatures are done. We dropped
Congratulations.
Copies in the mail. Yeah. So we also signed 2 months earlier, or a month earlier, with a management company, Distilled Entertainment. So now we have a promotion company behind us. We have a management company behind us. We got this new label. So we're hoping to make a splash,
Yeah, and now you have Honest Brutality behind you, and we're going to help you along the way. You reach out to us whenever you need some promo. We'll help you out. We'll play your music, and we'll help spread the love and get your music out there, man.
We need you to take out the brown M&Ms, though.
Oh, my God.
Not doing it.
Look at that Van Halen reference. Nice.
And we have so Rick wants to know if he can have your guys' numbers to drunk dial you at like 3 a.m. asking if you're up.
Those guys give me shit because I'm the only one that doesn't have a Facebook page.
Look, man. Look, you don't have to be drunk to dial me, baby.
He responds with dick pics. I'm warning you now.
Stop it, mother. That is bullshit.
Hey, guys, is there anything we didn't talk about today that you'd like to?
No, I mean, just for anyone listening, I would, the best place is to go to Niviane.com, and we should probably spell it Niviane, because everyone gets the name wrong.
What?
It took me.
Norm was in the band 3 weeks before he can say it right.
I was in the band for 4 months. 4 months, honestly. I was calling it Niviane. I mean, I was calling it everything you think of.
The best one was Reno.
Reno, we were Niv, and then Niv and Ann, 2 separate words that were like a solo singer-songwriter. But so Niviane.com, that has links to all our social media. It has, video stuff on there. We have audio, latest news, etc. And they can pretty much find out anything they need to, except if it's about our drummer Noe.
A.K.A. El Mysterio.
That's fantastic.
We're going to get you a cloak.
Just didn't know his homework.
All right, guys. Well, we look forward to seeing you blowing up the stage at Redwood MetalFest 2017, August 19th in downtown Ukiah. Get out there and support this event and support this awesome, amazing band. Guys, thank you so much again for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Hey, those guys in Niviane, pretty bitchin', huh?
Pretty cool group of dudes, man.
I'm going to come clean. I mispronounced their name originally. I called them Niviane.
It happens.
All the way from Sacramento, California, we have the band Niviane. What's up, fellas?
Oh! Now you got to start over.
I'm usually the name murderer, so I'm actually kind of happy that it was you and not me.
I'm gonna cop to it. I blew it.
You know what the only problem is that you beat me to it. Because I was going to murder it before you did. No, what a great group of dudes.
Yeah.
And they're doing great things.
And they're talented as hell,
Oh, man. Yeah.
Holy crap, they're good.
Bringing the pain.
Yeah, everybody in that band is fucking phenomenal. Check them out. Niviane, you can get all their music online. Go to their websites and all that. Go do them a favor. Push their music, man. Bands like this, they're out there doing it for the right reasons. They just want to play. They want to be heard.
That's a really good point that you bring up, because that's one thing that I don't think we touch on enough. And it's one thing for you to go and like their page. It's one thing for you to pay the 99 cents for their song. It's one thing for you to go out and see them live. But if you really do like them, share it.
Share the shit out of it.
Share it on your
man.
page. Look, if you can take selfies and take pictures of your fucking food, you can hit the share button for a song you really like.
You know what I like
it's
to do?
It's not that hard to do.
When I find a band, and these guys are going to get a piece of it, when I find a band that I like, I'll go to their page and I'll click on the invite button, and I'll invite a bunch of people to that page.
I do too.
As a band, having been in bands before, you're always looking for that exposure. Help them out. It's not hard to do, folks. It takes 5 minutes. They're giving you, these guys, for instance, are coming down to Redwood MetalFest. That's about a 2.5 hour drive, 3 hour drive for these guys for free. They're going to kick ass. They're going to rock. Give a little buck back, man.
Absolutely.
Give a little bit. Give a little bit.
And you can give us some love if you'd like. We are Honest Brutality. You can check us out on honestbrutality.com. All of our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Also, check us out on Rock Rage Radio. Go on over to our website. You can find out when our shows are and what you're going to find there. And in the meantime, be good people. Take care of each other. And most importantly,
Stay metal!
August 19th,
2017.
Ukiah, California. Redwood MetalFest. Presented by Mendo Metalheads.
Featuring
Potential Threat. Infex. Autonomous. Schizo.
Sinner's request back to the grave, spreading disease.
And many more. 2 stages of free, all-ages show in downtown Ukiah. Brought to you by Mendo Metalheads, Honest Brutality, and Rock Rage Radio.
We are
And